Hello, folks. I am back, and this time I am back with my year in review for 2019 on firearms. Now, mind you, a lot of you are going to disagree with some of the things that I presented, and some things you're going to agree. So please feel free to put uh, the following categories that I've set up. Please feel free to enter your own suggestions in. It was a big year, and I want to thank all my subscribers. So, without further ado, let me get right to this so it won't be too long of a video. This year we had roughly the biggest fails. The biggest fails to me this year was the Kimber KHX, and the problem with that was they had a recall. It was nothing wrong with the firearm. It was basically with the pretty much with the slide and the slide that mounted the optics. So the optic plates, they had to redo the slides and the optic plates. That was taken care of, but that was a minor thing, minor recall. It was just the anticipation that got me. The other fail was the FN 509. The FN 509 had a issue uh, with waterlogging. A lot of people, such as other reviewers, had said that the gun would jam, would be waterlogged and wouldn't be able to fire when wet. And also the other issue with the FN 509, it had the problem with the firing pins breaking. So Apex Tactical has made a firing pin that will be able to sustain a lot of issues. But the big fail for me was this. This is the VP9 long slide. This was a product that you added the VP9 slide, and this slide is, as you see, is a longer slide. So you'll be able to use this like for competition, etc. The slide works perfectly and everything else, and it's pretty accurate. But the problem is this section right here. Right here is there was no place to put an optic on, and unfortunately, HK doesn't seem to really pay attention to their consumers and their consumers' needs, that everything is going towards optics. If you look at a lot of firearms in the market, they're going to the optics. And it, to me, it affected them greatly because this particular slide, like I said, it was a good slide and all, but you didn't have the optic on there. HK pretty much just caters to their military contracts and so forth. So, like, and it's made it to a point where that HK doesn't make these slides anymore, or I think they discontinued making these slides. That other companies have stepped forward, such as Walther. Walther now makes their own version for the PPQ, and guess what? It's optic ready. Moving on from the bad, let's go into the good. As you see here, this is my 6 hour P320 X5, and it is sporting the tungsten or TXG grip module. Now, this grip module, everybody knows this is really a heavy module that helps with the weight of the firearm, and it gives it like the weight of steel. This module is standard on the X5 Legion, and this is what I would say is nominated and has won basically the best product of firearms product. And SIG has really come out with a product that really makes sense, and a lot of shooters really like this product, especially if you buy an X5. For those of you who don't have an X5 Legion, you can always buy these separate and just order that from SIG directly. Okay, next category I have here is called Best AR, or Best, what I would say, Budget AR. As you see, this is the 6 hour uh, M400 Tread. And what I like about this particular firearm is this Tread logo on here that you see right here. This enables, let's say, a person that's not only a new shooter or so forth. It gives you a key or a code to let you know what parts are compatible with this AR. There's a lot of AR products out there, and if you're a noob to that, it'll be a little bit confusing. So what SIG has done is basically made a symbol system for their accessories, so you'll be able to put various products uh, on their AR pistols and or AR rifles. The thing about it is a lot of people they consider it like a budget firearm. To me, this performs better than a budget firearm. I mean, I tested out the Sig. I'm sorry, the Springfield Armory Saint, and I like this a lot better than that. I used to have a Smith and Wesson M&P 15, but the quality of this is to me is a lot better. Not taking anything away from Smith and Wesson, because that is a decent AR firearm platform, and it's very accurate as well. But this system is really a good system that Sig Sauer has put out, and this is part of the M400 series. So to me, this is not really a budget AR. It's just simplified for the new user. Okay, the next category I'm going to say this is what I call the PCC category. And uh, pistol caliber carbines or PDWs, personal defense weapons, are very, very popular. And I also nominate this, also making this win the firearms platform of the year, because this a lot of people are going into firearms, particularly like an AR platform or so forth, and they're shrinking them down, or they're making them a little bit larger for competition. But they normally take, let's say, 9 millimeter, 10 millimeter, or 45 ACP. And as you see here, there are two examples of both of those. This is a 45 ACP. This is a CMMG Banshee, and I kind of jokingly call it my Tommy gun, but this is a very good platform. It has the traditional AR-15 controls, but one unique thing is where they innovated with this is the radio delayed blowback, and that's why one of the reasons why I picked this, especially because I'm a 45 ACP nut. I like the caliber. But up top here, which is a very controversial firearm, this is the 6 hour M, uh, MPX Copperhead. And this is a very unique firearm. A lot of people had issues with it, didn't like it, and so forth. A lot of that prejudice comes from, I believe, the cost. And they're similarly priced, but a lot of that has come from the cost. This was developed because the military needed a personal defense weapon for dignitary protection. Uh, a lot of people complain about the front of the barrel here, but these can be changed out, and they have adapters for where if you want to put a different barrel in a matter of moments, and then you can put in a barrel, suppress it, and so forth. But I like both of these, and that's why I'm saying that this is the platform of the year. But however, a lot of people know that I defend the Copperhead a great deal, and this is why the Copperhead is my PCC of the year, because it is very accurate for its size. The controls are like AR like, even though they have their own proprietary magazine. It's very compact. You could put it in a motorcycle bag. You can carry it in a knapsack. It's just that versatile of a firearm. And like I said, you can put a suppressor on this, and once you take this out by taking these screws off and detaching the barrel. I You can do that, but I like it in the configuration that it's in. Very accurate at uh, distances anywhere between 10 to 25 yards. Very impressive. But That's why this is my PCC of the year. It's a great shooter, but the problem is the price is going to get some people, and these two platforms you can't go wrong. I would recommend for anybody that wants either one of these. If you're really into the AR platform, I would tell you to go with the Banshee first, but it's up to you on that. Now I'm going to really get myself in trouble. Firearms Company of the Year, I'm going to say it's going to be Sig Sauer. Sig Sauer has basically has expanded their operations not only into training electro optics, they make suppressors, they make different types of firearms like the MPX here, and with the technology, the products that they bring out, and SIG has just basically has just pretty much tried to corner the market on all ends. The problem with doing that is SIG get themselves in trouble when they make a product such as, let's say, the P365. There were some issues with it in the early going on the first uh, generations of them. Another problem that they had is the earlier P320s where they had the drop safety issue, and then there were a couple other little quirks that they had, and they do stand by their products, but a lot of times it can make the consumer upset. Sometimes the quality control was also an issue at some point in time on certain firearms. But I will say this: they seem to be cornering the market. SIG has also reached 100,000 units on their military contract on the M17. So they're doing a lot of things right. With their AR platform, they've reached a contract with the Indian Army with I believe it's the M716 or 15. I'm sorry, I forgot the designation. And also, a lot of police departments are going into the 320, not this variant, but the P320 has been picked up. They've from various police departments. Okay, folks, this is where we have in our memoriam. Uh, these two firearms here are no longer produced anymore. This is the 6 hour P227. This is a 45 caliber, uh, 10 round capacity. This was similarly to maybe the P220 with a hybrid of the P226. So they do not make this particular firearm anymore. This does come in a variety of colors. As you see, this one is in FDE. Like I said, it's a 45 ACP caliber, and these are pretty much available. You can find these if you do some hunting around for around the $700 mark. But this is a great value. Hopefully, they will bring this back. I guess it didn't sell well, but this is an excellent firearm. As you see here up top here, this is another 45 ACP. This is the Dan Wesson Valor. The Dan Wesson Valor is an excellent firearm. Uh, it's ham fitted, it has no mem or plastic parts in this firearm. Uh, I'm sorry that they are discontinuing this particular line. This does come in a 9 millimeter as well. Not sure about 10, but I think it's 9 millimeter and 45 that this came in. Just look around and you might be able to find those. But these are two great firearms that are not not being produced anymore, but you can still find them. It's just that I guess with certain companies they expand their catalogs a great deal, so sometimes this can become uh, a situation where it has to go on the chopping block. Okay, folks. Now we're running to the gun of the year. My opinion, what the gun of the year is, and this would surprise you because I am a huge fan. definitely of the two PCCs that I showed you, um, which was the Copperhead and the Banshee. But the gun of the year, and I think a lot of you would agree on, would be this. It is the CZ P10F. Now, this version I have, this is the one that does not have the optic plate on it, but either way, if you get the one with or without the optic plate, this firearm has been a great surprise to me because it is a full-size firearm that gives a great grip. Some people are running these in competition. Some people are like to use these in a duty capacity. I don't know of any police departments that carry these, but I know some people like to have that in a duty capacity. Uh, and it should be carried by police departments, if not, because this is a good size. You're talking about 19 round capacity plus one, very accurate. Like I said, if you have the optic version, there are things that you could do with the optic. Uh, Competitively, you can. A lot of people like to style these out. The only problem is there's not enough support aftermarket wise. It's starting to come up, but holster wise, some of these will fit in the Glock holsters, but it very much depends. So I think holster companies need to get on board. Like I said, this is the one that surprised me. Normally, when I get a firearm, I may shoot 200 rounds in it when it's brand new, then get back to it at the end of the month or the next month. This firearm I actually spent a lot of time with, and I wind up shooting close to 2,000 rounds in the first month, which is not usually the norm for me. All right, folks, that's all I have. So if you agree or disagree, feel free to chime down. Put in what you want at the bottom, and explain in the categories which one that you would like. And I want to thank everybody, my subscribers. Uh, like I said, this is my end of the year video. I will be doing another comparison, but this is officially it. This is going to, and I would like again, want to say thank you to my subscribers. I know I do this as a hobby. I'm not really that great a video reviewer, but thank you very much. Have a good new year and happy holidays to you and happy shooting. Stay safe. #2A.